Dad house. I am finally re-recording my video. This is the Bad Planning Habits and How to Ditch Them video. I recorded this almost exactly 2 months ago. I had recorded 2 videos that day. One of them I really quick edited, posted. The Bad Planning Habits one, I edited it, and as I was watching it through during the editing, something about it just bugged me and I couldn't quite put a finger on what it was. So I just kind of sat on it for a little bit and waited. And I know several of you guys have asked me so many times, you know, where's that video? You said I had it all recorded and everything. Something about it just bugged me. And until I could put a finger on what it was, I wasn't comfortable posting it. So I was rewatching it maybe a week and a half ago, trying to decide what I'm gonna do. Am I just gonna re-record this? Can I use what I already recorded? What is wrong with it? And I realized how ill I looked and seemed. I just seemed so off and sick, and I recorded it right as I was getting over pneumonia and right before we figured out why I kept getting so sick. So the whole video was just bleh. It was just not good. So I ditched it. I don't do that very often, but I just deleted the intro. I deleted the whole body of the thing. I sent it off to the ether. It was bad. It was just plain bad. So I am re-recording it for you today. These are bad planning habits that I personally just evolved over time. The mosquitoes are out in full force. Like bad planning habits that I acquired, that, you know, that I pretty much created for myself, that caused problems with my planning process. Either it was changes I made that weren't working well, or just things that I was doing because I was doing things quickly, rather than kind of stopping for a second and paying attention to what I was doing and kind of the problems that can cause. So I'm gonna flip the camera around, and I have a list written in here, and I will show you kind of how I solved those bad planning habits that I had developed as they came along. Some of the solutions aren't in here, I don't think all of them, just because they were bad planning habits. So I stopped doing them. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. If you know that you have any bad planning habits that you had maybe developed over time and needed to break, share them, make a video, I'll write a blog post, you know, put a picture up somewhere and let me know. And I will, I'll append them to the blog post that goes with this video. Okay? Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye. Okay guys, so here I have 5 of them written out. 5 bad planning habits that I acquired over time that I then ditched, and how I ditched them. My first one was over planning Mondays. I would forever, you know, have all this stuff accruing over like the weekend when our schedule would change if kids weren't in school, and, you know, ideas would pop into my head here and there, and I would just put them on my daily page so I could keep track of them for a later time, and they would all pile up, right? So when I was doing my weekly plan for the upcoming week, I would have this huge list of ideas and tasks and places we had to be that had come up, and, you know, just all those things that just pile up, you know. And I invariably would go to a daily page and I would dump it all into that Monday. So all those tasks, a whole bunch of them, I would dump all onto one page, and then I wouldn't really schedule any tasks for the rest of the week. I don't know what it was about Monday that I wanted to dump all my tasks into there, but that's what I would do. I would dump everything in there, and what would happen was I'd get discouraged. I would see that, oh my gosh, I have to get all this stuff done on Monday, because I had written it on Monday in my head. I had to get it all done on Monday. It wasn't necessarily stuff that had to be done on Monday. It was just stuff that I needed to get done at some point during the week. If there was a time and date specific task, then I would put it on the page, the applicable page. So if I had a task on Tuesday the 28th, that's where it would go. If there was a time that went with it, that's where it would go. But just the stuff that comes up that needs to be done sometime during the week, but it doesn't really matter when, I would dump all that onto Monday for some weird reason. So I started working from a weekly list, and that is solely, I can credit that to DIY Fish. That weekly chart definitely broke me of the habit of dumping everything on my task list onto Monday. And in this set, this is the classic B V3S1 set from DIY Fish. I use the page, I'm trying to get there. I use the page after the end of the week. So here is last Sunday. These are a couple of inserts that I added, and then this is the blank page that kind of separates the weeks in this version before you get to the week on 2 pages with the small weekly chart. So when I started using that full page weekly chart, that completely broke me of that. I didn't need to have all those tasks dumped on Monday. I just needed them with my week so that I would keep looking at them and chip away at them because they weren't time or date sensitive things. I just wanted them done sometime that week. So working from a weekly list really helped break me of that over planning Mondays habit that I had. Another one that I am still kind of guilty of this, I'm getting better. As you would, you finish up setting up your week, okay? This one takes a little bit of explaining. I hope it makes sense. I would set up my week, no problem, okay? Set up my week, and I'd be going about my week, and let's say Wednesday, somebody would say, hey, could Hunter come over Friday after tennis and spend the night, let's say. Sure, can I send anything? Well, sure, send this and this. So let's say I was going to send snacks with them or whatever. I would either write it on the Friday, that day, the daily page, or I'd stick it on a Post-it note on that page. And, let's say this happened like Tuesday or Wednesday of the week. So I'm back here. That Post-it note or that note is up here on Friday. I don't look ahead to Friday, maybe until Thursday night, maybe not until Friday morning. I don't really go through my daily pages during the week. I use them as that day comes. I do work off of a weekly list. I do, like here, I work off of, this is our weekly schedule and like my weekly chart for projects and stuff. So I would put those upcoming events or tasks, if they came up during the week after the week had already been planned, I would put them on the daily page and then they'd sneak up on me, right? Because I would put it on the daily page and then I don't go flipping through my daily pages every day. If anything, I look at this every day, like in the evening when I'm kind of looking at, okay, what do I need to get done tomorrow? I'll look at my weekly list, I'll look at my chart, I'll look at what we already had planned. This right here is what kept me from putting events or tasks on the applicable daily page rather than on a weekly or a monthly page. This setup kind of saved me from doing that because invariably those events or tasks would sneak up on me because I wouldn't go through and flip through every daily page for the entire week, right? I'd work on the daily page that I had, so let's say it was Monday. Well, I'd be looking at that page. I'm not looking ahead to Friday on here. I'm looking ahead to Friday on here. Okay, I may be looking ahead to what I need to get done for the week here on the list for the week or on the chart for the week. This is my full week overview. So using some kind of full week overview and not just slapping those events or tasks onto the applicable day, the daily page itself, helped me to stop doing that and to keep those events or tasks from sneaking up on me until the night before or the morning of. Habit number 3 that I developed, and again, DIY Fish saved me from doing this all the time, was that I wasn't maintaining a long, wide view of everything, but especially projects. I would maybe week by week, I got into this habit. I used to be really good about making a plan for the month and then breaking that down into plans for the week. And then, I was pretty good about that. And then I kind of got away from it. And when I asked Sheng Chen at DIY Fish if she would make those, what she ended up calling the version carry inserts, that was my solution to trying to bring back both my long view and my wide view of everything I wanted to get done. I needed a very open layout with just a little bit of structure where I could go, I just need to think about the month. What all do I want to get done for the month? So then I would go through all of my lists of videos I wanted to make and work stuff I needed to do and what the kids might need done and what Mike might need, whether he's on the road or not. And I look through all of that and pick out what for the month, okay? Let's say what videos, for example, I want to get made this month. What essays do I want to write this month? What coding do I need to get done this month? For the websites that I administrate for other people for work stuff, what of their stuff do I need to get done this month? And then break it down to, okay, let's pick a couple of those. Is any of it date or time sensitive, like it has to be done a certain week? And you kind of funnel it all down, right? I wasn't doing that. I was just kind of going week by week. And when I would do my weekly setup, I'd review the prior week, carry forward any tasks that I needed to get done, and then I'd just start going through like my videos lists, my work checklists, and just kind of pulling week by week. So I would get bogged down in just a couple of things because I wasn't maintaining a long enough view. It'd be, oh my gosh, that project for that client snuck up on me. I can't have that. Thankfully, I write things down for about a week before they're actually due, so I have a built-in safety net, but still, for me, I need to maintain both a long view of what I need to get done from here until way down the road, but also a broad view. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into only having time to work on, say, one thing for one client, because I have other clients, I have other work to do, I have videos I'd like to make, I have things I'd like to write, and I also have, the kids and Mike and working around their schedules and road trip schedules. And so having that format, and it doesn't matter, you don't have to have any specific insert to help you do this. You can use blank paper and a pencil if you want, but taking a look at the upcoming month and seeing what you want to do, taking that apart week by week and kind of, here's my month, here's my pile of stuff for the month. Week 1, I'll do these 3 things. Week 2, I'll do these 3 things. Week 3, and just kind of filter them down and spread them out across the weeks. And then in each week, take that list of 3 things or whatever you chose. And okay, Monday, and then that's going to probably take what free time I might have on Monday and maybe a little bit of Tuesday. So that's what I'll do those days. And then this task number 2 for that week. You see what I'm saying? You just kind of go from bigger to smaller. And I had kind of just been plugging along week by week and not really maintaining that long view and wide view. Okay, so that is how I solved that problem. Habit number 4, this one I still do. Some weeks I'm better than others. Being unreasonable with myself about how much I can accomplish during a week. If you saw my May DIY fish pages flip through the completed pages, that I actually should have grabbed that. That was a good example actually of, if you look at, like, for example, this is where I lay out our appointments, things that are scheduled, where we're going to be, see, like that. And if I do a good job of maintaining this, it's really easy for me to see, like the week that we had graduation, most of the graduation party prep stuff was done. I was doing that like 2 days after the graduation ceremony. So I had a lot of stuff here, a lot of events, a lot of things that were scheduled, and I didn't have a lot of tasks on my weekly list or on my chart for like work and blog and stuff. Okay, that's how I've learned to kind of maintain the balance. If I can look at my scheduled stuff and go, wow, that's a lot of stuff, then I know in advance, don't go nuts over here. Don't go nuts with your weekly list. Don't go nuts with your weekly chart, with your work stuff and project stuff, the stuff that has to be done that week. Either do it beforehand, and that's where that long view comes in, where you've had a broad enough view where you're ticking all the boxes as far as whose stuff do I need to check up on, right? But also a long view, okay, what's coming up, so that when you do have a very event heavy week, you're not going to be available. If you're out of the house at graduation and baccalaureate and awards ceremony and citywide awards ceremony and and all the other kids are finishing up school too, so you have awards ceremony at the junior high and the concerts that come at the end of the year, and when you have a week like that, go easy on yourself when the task stuff comes into play, right? I really had to learn that, and I'm still guilty of that. I sometimes will just pile stuff on here, and that's why you'll see some of these are pretty empty. Like, look at this. This is fairly empty. I did do those too. I actually did all 3 of those. I just didn't mark them off. But when you're going through changes, when your schedule at home is changing, when the kids get out of school or go back to school, if you or your partner has a job change or something, a lot of us, we're planners, so we tend to want to keep chugging along, keep getting the same amount of stuff done no matter what. And you know what? Sometimes it is totally okay to just live your life and understand that you're human. And if you have a lot of events going on, wherever you show your weekly events or your monthly calendar where you can look at your week's worth of events, and you see that it's really heavy, maybe for starters, stick to the stuff that you have to get done that week. Maintain that long, wide view of things so that you know what's coming and it doesn't sneak up to you during that very event-heavy week. Okay, so that is where kind of working both from a monthly calendar and a weekly calendar really helped me to stop dumping so many tasks into weeks that were already full with like family stuff or event stuff or a lot of client stuff that I had to be out for. So that is how I took care of that. And I have one more, not leaving enough room for fun and creativity. You guys, I am the type of person, I'm a very kind of linear, analytical thinker. Nothing wrong with that. That's just the way I'm wired. If you can hear Liam breathing heavy in the background, he has the hiccups. And we've been trying to teach him that if he takes a deep breath and just kind of holds it for a second, that a lot of times the hiccups will go away. But he just breathes in and out real deeply instead. And he has the hiccups. I can hear him. He's in the sandbox. So not leaving enough time for room for fun or creativity. Leaving room for it, being in a traveler's notebook really helped solve the space problem for me. I'm not one who generally likes to journal in a ringed binder. I'm not the type of person who does a Dear Diary kind of journal and kind of rehashes my day sort of thing. The only time I really like emotionally dump onto a page by hand in anything, whatever's closest to hand, is if I'm ticked off about something. If I'm frustrated or ticked off or I don't understand something, then I'll just dump with pen on whatever page I feel fit. When I'm writing essays and stuff like that, I honestly prefer a keyboard. I don't know what it is, but when I'm thinking through things I want to write, like an essay, that's the process of working it out. I do better on paper, and I think that has to do with that physical reaction that your brain has, or the chemical reaction your brain has, and the physical reaction your brain has to the act of actually writing, physically writing. So a lot of that I do on paper. But a lot of the stuff I write is stuff like that, things that I read that got my brain going, or something that I read that irritated the heck out of me, or that I didn't understand, and I was trying to understand somebody else's point of view because I read this post or whatever, and and it irritated me, or something happened and it made me mad, and I'm trying to see the other person's point of view on it. I'm really better off doing that. That is what my journal is like, and I'm far better off doing that in a traveler's notebook. I don't journal well in rings. However, I will go days and days and days when we're really busy, or when the kids are home and I'm doing stuff with them and we're having a good time, like it's summer break right now. I don't do a really good job journaling in here, so I'll go days without journaling. So while I do have a full-fledged, dumping my brain onto paper journal in a traveler's notebook, I did stick in here, and if this is all you do just to have a little outlet, then just try it. I did this is a week on a page, personal size from PeanutsPlannerCo. I'll put the link down below. And I just do a little bit every day. Just a couple of sentences, a couple of stickers. I just stick it right next to, I just moved this. I had this in a separate binder. So if I didn't journal at all, if I didn't do any kind of writing at all during the day, I would at least do this. This is like my bare minimum. If I do nothing else as far as writing, if I'm having a good time with the kids and we're running errands and goofing around, and I don't tend to walk away from that to write. I'll write about it later, but then, a whole week will go by and I haven't journaled, and I have nothing to refer to remember what day was what, aside from like my task lists and stuff. So this is kind of a nice, pretty little way to just write a couple of lines about what happened that day, or something that was funny, or books that I read, or whatever the case may be. So if you're wanting to journal and you're not, if that's something that does it for you, not everybody is somebody who likes to journal. That's totally fine. If it's something you want to try, leave a little bit of room in whatever book you're using. It doesn't matter if it's a ringed binder, or a traveler style notebook, or a Moleskine, or a Leuchtturm, or a 50-cent composition book that you grabbed at Walgreens or something. It doesn't matter. If you have that urge to write whatever, make space and time for yourself to do it. If you like to doodle, if you like to draw, if you like to do research, if feeding your brain makes you happy. I'm definitely one of those people. That's why the things I journal about tend to be about things that I read, and maybe things I don't understand and I'm trying to see somebody else's point of view on. That's the kind of stuff I write in my journal. I just work things out, at least as far as I can, on paper. And I've never left room in any kind of planning system that I had for anything like that. And sometimes it's nice to have it all in one book. I always now have a journal going in a personal size Chic Sparrow notebook. I rotate, sorry about the noise from the sandbox. I rotate what book it's in and out, but it's always in a personal size insert in a Chic Sparrow notebook. I always have that going. I also stuck this in on my rings, so that if I do nothing else in the course of a day but write a couple of sentences, then that's fine. If I want to go back and journal about one of those things more, at least I have a record of it and I won't forget. If you like to watercolor, throw a watercolor insert into your traveler's notebook. Or if you already have inserts and you don't want to buy like a whole watercolor insert, if you go to Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby or wherever, an art store that may be near you, or order it from online, get some watercolor paper, cut it down to size with the scissors, fold it in half, slap it underneath an elastic inside an existing notebook, and just try it. But what I found is I needed to give myself the space to do it. I had to stop thinking within these linear analytical, which I don't mind about my brain, but sometimes it's really loud over there, sorry. Sometimes being that linear and analytical kind of puts constraints on me, and I don't realize it until I feel like I'm missing something. And I was missing kind of that piece of me as I got more into watching like journaling videos and hearing how people talked about how they journaled. I realized I was really missing the having it handy. So regardless of what book I'm in, I've got someplace that I can just, you know, dump out my thoughts or my feelings if I feel like it. So that is it, you guys. That is my little list, my 5 bad planning habits that I developed and how I ditched them. Like I said in the intro, if you guys have ever caught yourself in a bad planning habit, you know, take some pictures or write a blog post or make a video. If you shoot me the link, I will link to it in the blog post that goes with this video, so that we can all kind of share. And if you want to, I'm sorry, I thought Clayton was pulling in the driveway. You know what I'll do too is I'll start hashtagging though, or if you'll hashtag it, I'll hashtag this bad planning habits. So if you guys, I just did the Jimmy Fallon hashtag, I didn't even realize I did it. If you guys, you know, hashtag bad planning habits, I will put all that into the blog post that goes with this, okay? Thank you guys so much. I hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.